Greetings. I had some things on my mind, and so I thought I would try it out here at home. It's a strange setting, but we'll see if it works. Okay? I was thinking about things, as I usually do. And I was thinking about maturity. Maturity has been tweaking our way of living throughout our whole lives, from diapers, bottles, and having to be carried around all the time, crying out, or smelling a certain way that brings people into our experience. This is step one in our life. Using the potty, recognizing when we need to go before we need to go, and learning not to fall out of the bed. I mean, that's huge. That would be step two. And it requires more of our participation. Then, step three, helping with chores around the house, like taking out the trash, keeping your room clean, keeping your grades up. I don't know about you, but my parents did a great thing, and they would say to me, Kathy, you've been spending way too much time with your friends. So you need to spend more time at home. It was getting grounded. Step three has parameters, right? You don't want to get too big for your britches. And this shifts into getting a job. You remember going out with your friends, and so you don't have to ask for money. And you had to learn to get to work on time and show up for your shifts, plan around things. Your world is getting larger, but you had to also worry about getting home on time. You had more responsibilities. But now you're getting somewhere. You have your life. So then graduating high school, you did it. 12 grades of school under your belt. Your life is now your life. Making up your own rules, cool. Also, you learn that just because you don't feel like it, you have to study, go to work. If you don't do these things, the consequences are a little different. You lose your job, you flunk out of school, like, what a waste of money. Um, all these things. So you learn to override certain internal influences, and that's step four. You're grounded by life. You lose a job and all that, everything changes. So better get grounded. With every one of these steps, there are new privileges as well as higher levels of responsibility. The need to get grounded never goes away. And skipping steps seems out of order. So this I want to call, let's say, my personal culture. Your personal culture is all those steps and more, but those steps for sure. And the need to get grounded just never went away. We stay the same person through all of these steps, and our culture has gone through many changes. We've gone through many changes in the course of the four steps. We've already done it. So, greater responsibilities included being able to talk yourself into doing stuff you really don't want to do because you could see ahead to the results if you chose not to. And when we were younger, in those other steps, we always wanted to graduate those steps, like get my own panties and my big girl bed or my job or graduate. You want to do it. So now as adults, it may feel like I'm done. It's me against the world, like the world is done, you know. But actually, I'm still growing, you're still growing, and the world is still growing and maturing. Most of this maturing happens within us now. We don't necessarily have the report cards and all that stuff that we had before. And there's so much going on within us. The chores around the house now include sorting through these never-ending thoughts. In this age of information, how do we recognize when we need to stop? It takes a level of maturity to know where your edges are. When we were younger, you could see when the trash needed to go out. You can see when your room needed to be cleaned. These are all still good to know. But recognizing when you're overdoing, overthinking, overanalyzing, overjudging, running away from things by fearing that you have no control over those things, or, just ignoring what's yours to tend to, you need to be grounded. Get grounded. So this is a step, it's step whatever, but it's a step. Regulating sometimes doesn't feel possible. I mean, look at this country, look at the world, look at my house. But when dealing with things like curfews or going too far past where mom and dad told you could go, we need grounding. So what does grounding look like at this stage of maturity? Even without our parents telling us, right? We need to come to center, come home, get centered and grounded. A pause for breathing can be your assistant in this next step. The truth is, our world is influencing us while we are influencing our world. So as a mother, if I was frazzled, the kids knew it. The way we see things, how we feel about it, even if you live alone, these are our current friends right between our ears, and we can spend too much time with them. So to ground yourself, to come back home and sit in it for a bit, I wanted to, you can have your favorite spot to sit in and your beautiful view out the window or whatever, but that's still relying on outer influences. We've matured out of our mother and dad. Our mother and dad, most of us don't even have them here anymore. So how we must be regulated from our own internal selves. So I wanted to just introduce or refresh, because some of you already know this about box breathing. You can do it at any time of day. It's free of charge, and it's highly recommended for coming center. So what you do is you inhale for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, exhale 4 counts, and hold it for 4 counts. Now your first couple of in-breaths might be quick, like 1, 2, 3, 4. But by the 4th round, they should be able to stretch a bit more. So try some box breathing. Let me know how it goes with you. Extra points, you're in a situation like, oh my God, box breathing. And you can keep a journal even, what's provoked my box breathing this time, and then how did it work? So ground yourself. The culture is influencing us while we are feeding the culture. And by culture, I mean your home, your insides, your home, your town. And enough of us get going, we can influence other beyond that. Energy has no limits. But I know I have found myself wondering what in the world is happening. I've gone too far from home. I need to come back and get centered. So I do miss seeing all of you, and I look forward to seeing you at some point, 2025, let's say. But this first step in getting centered and grounded is going to help all of us feel more stable in a world of chaos. It's an election year, and I hope this helps you with all the little news blips and all the judgments and all that crap going on. All right? So that's it. I just got off work and thought I would check in. Have a good one.